Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan and you're watching Morgan Eats, where I talk all about affordable, delicious plant-based bites like what you're seeing here. Just giving you a little sneak peek of what's to come for this weekend. So here we go. Alright, so right now I am making some chickpea sandwich. And honestly guys, I don't have that much like produce, and I'm really trying my best to use what I have. I don't have a whole lot of coin, and I'm trying to be really mindful just of how much I'm spending. And so I'm really going to show you how I cook when I kind of try to cut back. So this is a chickpea sandwich. It's kind of funny. This is one of the first sandwiches that I made when I was vegan. First started out being vegan. Then I really elevated it with the healthy fats of the avocado. And then I started using some vegan mayo. RIP to this line from Tabitha Brown at Target. Put in the comments if you know anything about this. I feel like it's just gone, but dear Target, bring it back. So now I'm really just mashing this bad boy, and it's getting messy and I don't care. This is really perfect for a sandwich, but I didn't have any bread. So after I finished mashing it, I just had to put it in the refrigerator because I boiled the chickpeas so it was kind of warm. So it just didn't work out that great for me. But salt and pepper it. And it's really just kind of putting things that I had together. I could have used relish, but I didn't. And again, I didn't have any bread, so I had to use some crackers. So the next day, I was prepared to go to the city market and try to get some discounts. I found this beautiful jackfruit, but I'm intimidated by it. So here I am prepping dinner. And honestly, I'm prepping a lot of stuff because I made it like a bandit at the city market. I really did very well. But right now, I'm prepping this garlic to roast so that I can make potatoes. I know I made potatoes in the last video, but it happens, okay? I love potatoes. And I had these beets in the bottom of my refrigerator. So I'm like, all right, these need to get cooked. So I'm going to roast the garlic and these golden beets at the same time at 400 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And so I'm just putting both of those, covering it with some aluminum foil, I know. And I like to peel my beets because I feel like it's a little softer and they cook a bit faster. And that's just personal preference. Some people may like it on, I don't know, but I don't. I've seen people cook it with it on. But yeah, I'm just peeling my beets, I'm wrapping them, and I'm put these bad boys on a baking sheet. And I ended up putting that lining on the baking sheet, even though I have nonstick, because I didn't want the beets to stain. So, back to how I made it like a bandit. The city market, oh my goodness guys, I got all that for $1. So I decided to prep these for the freezer. So I'm just cutting these bad boys up. I mean, honestly guys, you cannot beat that with a bat, as they would say. All that for $1. But I don't know what to do with the stems just yet, so I'm going to research that because I want to be mindful of the waste that might occur. Last week with the asparagus, I was able to make a soup. Surely there's something I can do with it. So right now I just have it in the freezer until I have a better idea of what I can do. So if you have any thoughts about how you use your scraps, please let me know in the comments below. At any rate, I got all that for $1, and I know it was like probably going bad. So your girl scurried to try to freeze this. So like I said, what I'm doing, I'm just cutting these right now. I'm going to give them a good rinse. And then I'm going to put them, boil them, and I'm going to ice bath them, put them in freezer bags. Moving on to something else that I purchased, which were these strawberries. I got 3 containers of these strawberries for $5. So obviously, your girl needs to cut these all up, de-stem them, and then clean them with water and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Because, I mean, like I soaked those bad boys, right? Because you just never know what's in there. And then I could freeze some and keep some. All right, so now we're getting back to those potatoes. Just had to do a little prep work. Remember, we've got the garlic and the beets, and you're like, girl, what are we doing with all this stuff? I'm going to tell you. I really love potatoes. My husband really loves potatoes. So I am just cutting these up into, I would say quarters, but I feel like I cut them into eighths. And I am going to bake these. And I am going to bake this with some broccoli. And not the broccoli that I just used, some broccoli I already had in the refrigerator because your girl likes broccoli. So I am going to bake these in the oven for about 25 minutes at 400. So there goes that garlic. Yes, so the garlic's out, the beets are out. So I am making a little garlic paste, if you will, with some garlic that was roasting. See, I'm really just using what I got, y'all. I have no recipes to share. This is just from the brain of Morgane, really just being resourceful. Now back to the paste with some olive oil, the potatoes, and honestly, golden, like Yukon potatoes are my favorite. Red potatoes are pretty awesome too, but I feel like these are just so soft and like buttery with no butter. It's just like creamy, delicious. So I am prepping to pour out this little garlic paste that we've made. And then, of course, you have to salt and pepper these bad boys and toss them. Don't judge me tossing that with a salad fork. I didn't have any tongs around. Listen, you got to be resourceful sometimes. And now these are getting ready to go in the oven. Okay. So I've been building up. You're like, what is this girl making? So we've got broccoli. We've got potatoes. All right. So I'm making my famous vegan scallops. I've made this several times on the channel. I will link a card. And I do have a recipe for you. I will link this recipe in the description for you. That's on my website. So these trumpet mushrooms I love to get at the Asian market here locally. I think if you're trying to look for them, that's where you should look for them. And so right now I'm kind of piercing it to kind of give it that look. There you go, so you can see that look of how scallops look with them cut in. And I have my lemon wedges ready for my vegan buttery sauce that I actually use lemon and herbs and garlic and whatever else I can find. All right, now we're on the stove off to the side in that other pot. We're going to talk about that other pot later, but right now let's just focus on the scallops. Our vegan scallops. So I got this cast iron skillet, and I've honestly never used a cast iron skillet when I am preparing this, but it was in front because I reorganized my whole kitchen. I'm just getting these nice and brown on the top. Meanwhile, back to the broccoli. We've got the broccoli about to be blanched off to the side. Your girl is multitasking this evening. I don't know what time it was, but I was up late this weekend really cooking and really prepping a lot of this food. And I love getting back into being able to do this kind of stuff, eating more fresh and whole foods. I love it. So my scallops are looking brown and beautiful like I like them. So I'm taking these bad boys off because they're about to come into the bath and soak this wonderful vegan buttery garlicky flavor. So I'm spraying her down, and as you can see, the skillet is hot. Remember, I have not used a cast iron skillet, but you know what? I don't care. I got the fan going because I'm not trying to set off no alarms up in here. I got the fan going. The garlic press ain't really pulling out. In about 5 seconds, this garlic is about to be brown. But such is life. And we just move and groove accordingly because I keeps it real on this channel, As my mother-in-law would say, this is black and cuisine. No shade, I love you. But yeah, the fan is blowing the smoke, but I did not set the alarm off. Adding a little bit more oil because the cast iron skillet was dry. And then, yes, I added acid to it just because why not? And I added butter to it as well, Miyoko's butter. And then I added the rest of the champagne that I've had since the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl was in February, but the champagne was still there. So now I've got this olive oil, garlic, brown butter, sauce. And I'm adding a little bit more butter because it looks like it needs some more. And you know what? Got to get my swirl on. Might as well finish the bottle of the champagne before she comes back in. So now my scallops are swimming. My scallops are swimming in this beautiful sauce. So I'm just going to let that happen. I've turned out the fan because it's not as smoky as it appears. More seasonings, oregano. I'm so sorry I couldn't find my basil, but I did find it eventually. Finishing up the champagne because, yeah, kill it. This is the final product. Next day, a beautiful cocktail for a beautiful Sunday from one of my favorite local wineries. I love that they have cocktails too. Okay, so also at the city market. Like, I feel like I should have did a haul of everything I got at the city market, but maybe I'm planning to go to the city market every couple of weeks, so let me know in the comments if that's going to be interesting to you. Maybe I can show you around how it looks out there. But I got a gang of whatever you want to say, a lot of corn for $1. Because your girl was just like bargain shopping. She wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't in for the fun things. Although I did get some Lion's Mane mushrooms. But I don't personally like corn like that. So here's all of them. I got lazy on the last two. But I wanted to save it for something else. Don't personally like corn like that. But for $1 I had to get it. So I went ahead and roasted those 5 in the oven for about 30 minutes on about 350. And yes, we've already mentioned that I love potatoes, so I am eighthing them, cutting them into eighths with an onion because this is actually going to be a corn and potato chowder. And let me tell you, I decided to go ahead and do the prep work beforehand just to kind of make things easy, breezy while the corn was roasting. And that made, because remember, it's like 6:30 and I got to be at work at 8 the next day. So I'm ready to go. Like, I'm tired. I want this to be quick. Now the corn is done. And such simple ingredients, right? But oh my God. I don't think I've ever done this before, and I was really struggling to get it out. And then I'm thinking, oh, this camera is above me, and like now I'm looking really ridiculous. But we're gonna keep pushing forward. It's what we do for the lovely folks. So yeah, you can judge my struggle, but I'm sure there was probably an easier way of doing that. But I didn't know it until after the fact. So y'all remember those beets, right? They back. So I'm going to use it to make a salad. So I had some balsamic and I just mixed it with some Dijon mustard. And I have some onions and some spinach and arugula and a salad tosser setter for their proper use. We're just going to toss that together. And that is dinner. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun with me today, because I had fun chatting with you. And until next time, peace.